Hello, everyone. Thank you for logging in. My name is Memory Ntanga, and I'm the Program Director for the HIM and HSA programs here at CUNY. Thank you for logging into the information session for health information management. As directed in the chat, if you have any questions, you can use the QA. If you have any technical issues, please post that in the chat so one of the team members can respond to you. So I will be going over pretty much just giving you details about the HIM program and also what to expect and the application deadlines, but mostly want to focus on your questions. So my presentation will be very brief. I want to make sure that I have an opportunity to answer all your questions. So my name is, like I said, my name is Memory Ndanga. I have experience in health information management. That's more than 15 years experience in health information management. My background is I have a PhD in informatics. I started with my bachelor's in HIM, my master's in health informatics, and the PhD in informatics. I'm an active member with the AHIMA. If you are all familiar, that's the Association for HIM Professionals. So I am very active in volunteering and just serving the state association. Prior to joining CUNY, I was an assistant professor at another institution, and I was also a manager at one of the acute care facilities in the HIM department. So this was supposed to be one of my colleagues. She couldn't make it today, but you will, if you apply, you will probably hear from her time and again. So just so you are aware, her name is Natanya Dewa. She actually graduated from our program here. So I'm very proud to have somebody who have graduated from the program and who is now part of the program. So just to, what do students learn in the HIM? What are we offering in the HIM field? So students acquire competence in several areas in the field. That includes information governance, information protection, informatics, analytics, data use, revenue management, compliance, leadership. And most of you, if you're coming from an HIT school, you already have learned some of these things. But if you're not quite familiar with it, those are the things that make up the competencies that we are required to follow by our accreditation body, which is CHIM. So we want to make sure that we follow those standards so you have an education that you are able to use as you move forward with your career. So like I mentioned, our graduates, we prepare you for the RHIA credentialing exam. The RHIA exam is the Registered Health Information Administrator exam. This is a national exam. It's offered by AHIMA, and the competencies that I was talking about are pretty much, we use those to prepare you for this exam. So pretty much we're using the AHIMA competencies to be able to prepare you for the RHIA exam, which sets you apart from everybody else who has taken an HIM degree or who has some sort of management background. This is a certificate you can actually use in different fields. So what are some of the career options for HIM graduates? You are looking at different options. You have information managers, clinical or data analysts. You have implementation specialists, DRG validators, revenue cycles. You have HIM coordinators. And as you also move up, I have colleagues that are VPs for HIM, regional directors. So there is a lot of opportunities in terms of your career choices. Some have actually taken the path to IT as IT specialists, like EHR specialists. So there is a variety of things to select in terms of your career path. If you want to know more about what type of jobs, you can utilize the it's a career map that AHIMA offers. So AHIMA is our professional body They have a career map that you can actually use to stay. If you want to start here, where can you end up? And if you start from coding, what other career paths do you have? So make sure you check it out. This is the website, www.ahima.org. So please make sure you check it out so that you can have a feel of what to expect in terms of the career path. So let's talk about the admissions criteria. So you should have at least 24 credits that you can transfer into our school. And they're looking at the GPA minimum 2.5. You should be able to do the reading, writing, and math proficiency. So pretty much you have those basic education that we are looking at. You should have that already. And I would think that should be under your 24 transferable credits that you are bringing in. The actual degree with us is 120 credits that's required to complete a bachelor's degree. So you have 39 credits from the general ed curriculum and 66 credits in the major requirements. So those are the classes that you would be taking with us. Some of us, if you're coming from HIT or other affiliated agreements that we have, you might be able to transfer some classes, but pretty much you will need to have 120 credits to be able to get a bachelor's degree. And that's include the 15 free electives. So some of the things to keep in mind, especially that this is an online program, we are looking at time management. Pretty much you probably need 9 to 12 hours per course per week to be able to be successful. I know some students take a lot of classes, but you need to be able to manage your time, especially considering that most of you are either working or you have families. You want to make sure that's really one of the challenges with being on an online school. So you have to be disciplined, and you also need to be able to use our learning management system, which is Blackboard. So those are the things that you have to be aware of, that we use Blackboard, and just your discipline in terms of time management. So this is an example of how our online class look like. So if you open our intro to HIM, pretty much this is what you would see as the front of the class. And on the side, it usually tells you to click on the weekly modules. So once you click the weekly modules, it takes you to what you're supposed to be covering for that week, which is my next slide. So pretty much once you open like week 1, you will notice that there are different assignments that are posted for you to complete within that week. Even though we are in a synchronous class, our classes are synchronous, meaning there is no specific time or date that we meet. There are expectations that you need to complete the assignments on time. So most of the time you're given a week to complete the assignments, but you can complete that any time of the day, whether you are working nights and you want to do it during the day, or you are actually staying up to do your assignments. There is that flexibility to be able to post your assignments at any time within that required week. So why would you choose CUNY SPS for your HIM degree? One of the things to consider is we are accredited by the Middle State Commission on Higher Education. Our own HIM program is accredited by KHIM, which allows you to be able to sit for the national exam, the RHIA. And the school is very affordable in terms of the in-state tuition and the out-of-state tuition. I know they just recently changed it, that there's a little difference between the two, but it's still very affordable compared to other schools. We are also ranked one of the best online schools by the nation like World News report. So you want to make sure that when you're selecting a school, it's something that's reputable, something that gives you what you're looking for in terms of, if you're looking for flexibility, if you're looking for something that's accredited. So it's really important that whatever your goal is, make sure you keep that in mind. So most of our students, just to give you an idea, most of our students are working adults, or they have other, so pretty much they have careers going on, but they want to further their education. So we understand that people have families, have other schedules. So that's why it is an asynchronous setup, that you're able to complete the assignments, but you still are able to communicate with your professors, you're still able to network with your other colleagues. So there is that flexibility that gives you the interaction with other people, but at the same time, you have the flexibility to do things at least on your own, a little bit on your own pace. In terms of our faculty, we have experienced faculty. They are very knowledgeable in terms of what they bring to the students. Most of our faculty are either have been in the jobs that they are teaching. So someone might be a VP, might have been a VP for compliance, and now they are actually in education teaching that compliance class. So we have very qualified faculty, and I have confidence that they are very student-centered. So you will find that they are always trying to meet with the student, mentoring students, even though they are just they're not just focused on their classes, they are also trying to make sure that the student is successful. So that's really one of the things that I know our faculty group offers to the students. And in terms of the overall school, there are so many other opportunities. There is career services. There is also, you also have an advisor, and that's one-to-one advisor from the time you start to the time you graduate. There are tutoring services. There is a library. Obviously the help desk, and there's also technology that you can actually either rent your computer, or if something happens and you need that flexibility to be able to rent a computer, there are opportunities for students to actually still stay in, continue with their education with the help of the school. So that's really one of the things that most of our students always praise the school for. They are talking about how the advisors help them, which is something that's really helpful if you're trying to plan for your classes every semester. You want to know if you're on the right path, when are you graduating, and things like that. So we have people who are prepared to actually assist you from start to finish. So some of the frequently asked questions is, can I really earn my degree online? And the answer is obviously yes, you can. It just depends on the number of classes that you're taking, like how long it will take you, but yes, you can complete your degree fully online. Is your school accredited? And I've already answered that. Yes, the school is accredited, and the HIM program is accredited as well. How long will it take to get my degree? As I said before, it really depends on the number of classes that you're taking. I do encourage students to either be full-time, or the full-time meaning 4 classes or less, especially that it's an online program. You don't want to be, to overdo it in terms of the number of classes. But of course, there are other students that have gone to take 5 classes and they are still successful. So it really depends on how you manage your time and the other things that are happening in your life. How many credits can I transfer? So you can transfer up to 24 credits. Do you give credits for life experience? So we have something that's called credit for prior learning, and that can always be addressed in terms of any certifications that you might have. If you have like a coding credential, the CCS, yes, you can earn some credits for that towards your degree. So it's really on a case-by-case basis in terms of what you already have that you can transfer to your education here at SPS. Like I said, if you have any further questions, please feel free to call or just email us, and we can give you more information as needed. Thank you, everybody, for logging in.